Hi, my name is Leah Day and welcome to this video for the Free Motion Quilting Project. Today we're learning a new echoing design called Growing Sprouts. It's kind of a combination of spirals and wiggly lines and lots of echoes. I think it's going to look really pretty. So let's get on the machine and see how it works in free motion. So to get started with Growing Sprouts, I'm going to stitch a long wiggly line. And you can make this as wiggly as you like. Kind of like that. Now I'm going to swing into a circle and I'm going to stitch a closed spiral inside of the circle. That means I'm going to fill it in completely all the way to the center, and now I'm going to travel stitch along that line to get back out again. Now I'm going to continue travel stitching all the way back to my starting point. I'm calling that a sprout shape. I kind of like it. It's like a wiggly lollipop. Okay, so now I'm going to travel stitch along the edge of my quilting space and come up with an echo. I'm just swinging around that shape. And when I echo quilt, I'm not really looking at the needle and I'm not really looking at the other line of stitching. I'm kind of looking at just the space between the needle and that line of stitching that I'm echoing. It's one of those things, it takes a little bit of practice to echo consistently and evenly all the way around, but it definitely is something that the more you do it, the easier it feels, so you don't even think about it anymore. I'm just surrounding this with several rows of echoing. When I feel like I've got enough, I'm just going to branch out with another shape, and I can stitch down, I can use these edges to travel stitch, I can kind of bend this one over this way, make it nice and long, and swing into that circle. It's really nice to take a design and just be really random about how you stitch it. Kind of have things really come in all different directions. And you will end up with just some kind of weird areas around it. The best thing to do, especially with a design like this, just fill it up with echoes. Just fill it up with some nice wiggly lines. And that will fill it up completely. So now I'm just swinging around to echo this shape. And your echoes are always determined by how far you travel stitch. So here I'm travel stitching over about 1/8 of an inch, and then I'm swinging up and around with that echo. Of course, if you're not completely perfect at echoing, it's okay. This is one of those designs that's going to be fairly forgiving. If your lines get further apart or closer together, I don't think it's going to matter very much. Just try and do the best you can, and it's going to look great. This is supposed to look very organic, very freeform. Now I've got this little weird area. I was telling you that we need to fill those in with echoes, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm just going to travel in here, stitch an echo, travel stitch and echo, until that little gap, that little space is filled up completely. That looks good. Just a few lines of quilting in there filled it up. So that is Growing Sprouts, and here's what it looks like whenever you finish stitching that design. So that's it for Growing Sprouts. I really hope that you enjoyed learning this funky flowing design. I love the combination of these shapes. I love spirals and I love rows of echoing. So I think the two came together and they look great. You're going to be able to use this design on pretty much any area of your quilt. It'll look good if you expand it, and it'll also look good if you shrink it down and put it in the background of a quilt. Either way, have fun with it, and definitely share photos on the Free Motion Quilting Project. You can find hundreds of videos, lots of inspiration for free motion quilting on your home sewing machine at freemotionproject.com. Also check out leahday.com, where you'll find a quilt shop dedicated to carrying all the tools and supplies I use on my sewing machine every single day. It helps me out to be able to move my quilt easier, to be able to get a grip on it with gloves, to be able to do these things that, might seem simple, but when you're just starting out, they can really make a big difference for free motion quilting. So check that out at leahday.com, and we appreciate your support. Until next time, let's go quilt.